What's up, all my devil dogs? It's your boy Sean Ali, Strength Corps Iron 5-star General. It is a great Memorial Day. You know, salutes to all of our fallen soldiers out there. Moment of silence for them. Okay, so what we're gonna do today, I didn't really have like a solid video ready for you guys, so I decided to just do a little quick rapid Q&A. So I have your questions from Snapchat, from Instagram, and from Facebook. So I'm gonna answer all three. Now the answers are gonna be kind of short because I don't want to make this video stupid long, and there's a lot of people who commented, which I really appreciate because it makes the video a lot more interesting with all your different questions. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna start off with Snapchat first, then I'm gonna go Instagram, then I'm gonna go Facebook, then we're gonna close this video out, and you can expect another one on Wednesday. So without further ado, let's get started with Snapchat. All right, first question comes from my boy Miguel Mata. He asked what the benefits of lifting light weights and heavy weights. So the benefits of lifting lighter weights, now when you say lighter, if you're talking about like super light where you can get like 15 to 20 reps, it's gonna help increase muscular endurance. If you're talking more like 8 to 12, it's, you know, more so gonna help you with muscle hypertrophy. So lighter weights, it's really a relative term, but lighter weights can help you with hypertrophy as far as muscle growth, and it can also help you in terms of muscular endurance. Heavier weights is going to help you become stronger, build strength, build those neurological connections and motor patterns. You can lift heavier weights, so like the big movements like squat, bench, and deadlift, overhead press, things of that nature. So both have, you know, basically they're pros. There's not really cons to either, not really, but you get the idea. Second Snapchat question comes from my boy Tham Nation. Shout out to my dog. He was in one of my vlog videos. I saw him, met him at Chipotle, saw him again at Chipotle. Always hitting me up. Really cool dude. He asked, what are some cues I use when I squat, deadlift, and bench? So a couple cues when I'm squatting, I make sure that I'm holding in all the air into my stomach. A lot of people hold the air in their chest, and that can make you see stars because it's like you're holding it, you know, holding air in your stomach as opposed to in your chest or in your head, completely different. So I make sure I'm holding that in my stomach. I'm making sure that I'm looking straight ahead. I'm not like super arching my back. Those are a few keys. Making sure I'm pushing off my heels or the midline of my foot. Those are just a couple cues for squat. For bench press, I want to make sure that my shoulders are always retracted. I want to make sure my glutes are always really squeezed. And I want to make sure I have a good solid base with my feet on the ground. Also, I want to make sure my shoulders are not super flared. I want to keep them a bit tucked and really grab the bar as hard as I can to help drive the bar from my chest up through the range of motion. And then for the deadlift, I just want to make sure that my back is nice and straight. I want to make sure that I have a good grip on the bar and that I'm just really focused. The deadlift is just all about getting focused and pulling the weight off the ground. So thank you for your question. All right, let's move on to Instagram. All right, so first question from Instagram comes from That Chick Stormy Days. How do you gain body mass the right way? So the right way to gain body mass is you want to make sure that you're in a caloric surplus, but not a huge one. So let's say it takes you 2,000 calories to maintain your current weight. You may want to only go ahead and maybe increase to like 2,200 or 2,300 at the most, and kind of monitor your weight and try not to gain more than like 2 pounds a month. Really like a pound to 2 pounds a month, so you make sure that you're gaining lean mass instead of just putting on a whole bunch of fat. Okay, that's really all there is to it. All comes down to your diet and not gaining weight too fast. Got two questions from C-Red. I'm gonna butcher some of these names, I'm sorry. What are some of the best carbs for cutting, and what's the best training split for cutting? Some of the best carbs for cutting, I'm gonna go with carbs that are higher in fiber to keep you kind of more satiated. So I like things like potatoes, brown rice, whole wheat bread, things like that that kind of fill you up and have a good amount of fiber in them. Oatmeal is really good. Anything that has fiber that's going to keep you you know, very full. And of course your vegetables, because they are carb, they're just very low in them, so you can have more of them so you feel fuller. And then the best training split for cutting, it really just depends. I don't think you should really change your training split just because you're cutting. You know, train the same way you would as if you were bulking in terms of your routine. Maybe you cut back on the volume a little bit, but I'm gonna say the best is always gonna be, like I said, full body for a natural is always gonna be the best option. It's not what I prefer to do, but it is the best option, and I trust and believe that. But I would say something like a push-pull legs, twice a week, or something like an upper lower 4 times a week. Those would be my preferable, I guess, training splits if you're on a diet. Next question comes from Kenny in the cut. What are some good carb and protein sources for bulking while on a budget? I would say the best protein source to bulk on a budget is chicken thighs, because chicken breast is going to cost you a little bit more, and honestly it doesn't have that much more protein. It has a little more fat, but typically when you're trying to put on size, put on weight, you can afford to have a little bit of extra fat in there, and you're gonna actually save money because chicken thighs are a lot cheaper. So on top of that, the best carb on a budget, you gotta go with probably something like rice, potatoes. Those things are not very expensive, but you want to buy them kind of whole. Like if you buy them already chopped up or already cooked, yeah, you're gonna pay a little bit extra for it. But if you're buying rice that's dry, you got to make it in a rice cooker or on the stove. Or if you're buying potatoes, you actually have to dice up yourself or cut yourself and cook yourself. You're gonna save more money. You're gonna have to put a little more time into it, but hey, I mean, if you're trying to save every dime, that's what you need to do, okay? Next question comes from Chris Cordova. Will I ever do an eating challenge? Yes. Actually, when I'm done dieting, I want to hit up my boy Nate Figs, and I want to try and get a eating challenge in with him of some sort, whether it's sweets, salty, I don't know. I want to try. I think I would do okay. I'm not like the biggest eater, but when I have a like ravaging appetite, I can eat a lot of food. So I definitely want to try and do one of those in the future soon. So Figs, look out for a message from me. Next question comes from Majestic Gauge. What's my take on protein requirements? Is 1 gram per pound of body weight BS? Is 0.8 grams per pound of body weight good when bulking, and maybe 1 pound when cutting? What does the general think? It's not really what I think, it's what it is. It's not subjective, it's an objective fact that literally nobody should be taking in more than 1 gram per pound of body weight at any point, whether you're bulking or cutting. Truthfully, you really only need, I think it's like 0.825 grams at the most, and that's when you're dieting. When you're bulking, you actually can have less protein, and then of course, the longer you've been training, the less protein you actually need to maintain muscle. So in all honesty, when you hear stuff like taking 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight, or 2 grams, that's kind of crazy, and it's a lot. And a lot of times people will up their protein to try and help with satiation, because protein's more it's more filling than like carbs are, but at the same time protein's more expensive and most people are on a budget. And on top of that, when your carbs are way too low, it can take away from your training. Now you do have, you know, your body has gluconeogenesis, where it will convert you know, protein into glucose to use for your body, but that's a very energy expending process by your body. So you can actually feel a bit fatigued from that. So honestly, 0.8 is fine. If you just stick with 0.8 the entire year, you're gonna make gains and you're gonna retain your muscle while you're dieting. Just saying. That's what the general thinks. Next question is from Tyro Bailey in the building. Keep making your videos, man. They're really cool. He wanted to know when am I playing, how much am I weighing in at right now, and do I plan on competing, because he thinks I would do phenomenal in a show. Well, first of all, Tyrell, thank you for thinking I would do great in the show. I do still plan on competing at some point, just not right now. I got a lot going on. I got school going on, I got, you know, work, I got YouTube. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I don't need to add another stress in my life as far as let me compete now. You know, let me not be able to eat what I want. Like, dieting is already hard enough. To diet for a competition, whole nother level. I'm not ready for that yet. Maybe one day. And then right now I'm weighing in, my lowest weigh-in this last week was 212.8. So I'm weighing a little heavier today because I had a cheat day on Saturday, and then, you know, I'm still kind of recovering from it because I did not track cheat day macros. All right, so that's pretty much how that's going. All right, next question comes from my boy Andre Falcon. His name in here is Dre trying to be fit. Okay, when it's all one word, it's hard to read. Anyway, I've been recently having knee problems using wraps. Do you think switching to sleeves would be more beneficial for taking pressure off them from wrapping so tight? Yes. Knee sleeves, I mean, they're going to help, but knee wraps, right? Knee wraps are actually very bad for you, because what it basically does is you wrap them so tight that it presses your patella up against the cartilage, up against the cartilage in your knee. So you're kind of going bone on bone. It's really not good to wear knee wraps. It's really very bad actually. A lot of people do it to protect their knees and they don't understand they're actually wrecking their knees. Knee sleeves can definitely help you feel a little more comfortable. You're probably not gonna squat as much as when you wrap your knees really tight, but at the end of the day, you should be able to squat without anything. If you can't, that means that your form might be messed up or the wraps might really have damaged your knees a little bit. So I would say definitely ease back on the wraps. Get you some sleeves that's gonna help you. It's gonna keep your muscles warm and things like that, but I would say do away with the wraps, man, if I were you. All right, next question is from ASVP.Mira30. Basically, her question is saying, what prompted me to be interested in becoming a firefighter? So it was actually this past Thanksgiving, I was actually at my aunt's house, and my cousin, who's her son, has been a firefighter for 13 years. And you know, he asked me how was work going, and I was like, it's work. So he was like, oh, okay, have you ever thought about being a firefighter? I was like, no. So he brought me to the firehouse, told me what it was all about. It looked pretty cool. The trucks looked cool. I was like, you know what? That seems like a really cool job, something I would enjoy. And so I decided to go ahead and get on this journey to become a firefighter. That's basically how that happened. Next question is from my dog, Ray Did It, or Raven Skinner, my dude. He asked if you and I were to have a half-court shot battle where we get 10 shots but have to make at least 3, who's winning? And remember the video he posted a while back. So he posted a video of him like shooting a half-court shot. He like trolled everybody because he completely missed, and he made it like super epic, but he missed. I'm sorry, man. I'm very athletic and I'm very competitive. If we had 10 shots and we had to make 3, I'm winning. I don't care what anybody says. I'm never gonna say, oh, you're gonna win, bro. No, I'm competitive. I'm gonna win. Sorry, you're gonna have to lose that one. Next question is from RySwole_Ryan. What's my other favorite kind of cereal besides Lucky Charms? And can you give my YouTube channel a shout out? Much thanks and appreciate the content you've been making. I appreciate you watching, man. Ryan, I actually went, because whenever somebody asked me for a shout out, I had to go look at your channel. You got some pretty good stuff on there. So I have, you know, his thing on there. Go ahead and go to Instagram and follow my dude Ryan. I'm trying to see if I can pull up his YouTube channel name really quick. It's just called RySwole Fitness. All right, go check it out. If you like it, go ahead and subscribe. But his question was basically, what's my other favorite cereals outside of Lucky Charms? I love Special K protein cereal. I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I love Fruit Loops. I love Cookie Crisps and French Toast Crunch. I think those are about the only cereals I really like. I really love cereal, but Lucky Charms is just, it's the love of my life. Next question comes from my dog, Madi.Visions. He has a YouTube channel too. How do you grow a successful social media brand? Some quick tips with growing a social media brand. Try and be different. Try not to be shy in front of the camera. Try and, you know, let people know. You gotta put your name out there. If you're sitting back waiting for people to just follow you and, you know, you're not giving them anything to follow you for, you're gonna be waiting forever. You have to give people basically something that is of value to them, whether it be entertainment or information or, you know, something. Like, I try and give you guys entertainment with my vlogs. I try and give you guys information with like my workout videos. So I'm trying to give you guys something to have you guys follow. You know what I'm saying? If I'm just sitting here, you know, always just talking about me, and I'm never helping you guys, then it's like, okay, why do I care about this guy on the camera? You know, he's just attention seeking basically. So give the people something that they want to see. Just like when I make my what if videos, which I'm trying to work on the next one, by the way. But when I make those videos, a lot of people, it's entertainment for them. You know, it's like, wow, I want to see what this guy's talking about. Or when I put up tips, you know, when I put up recipes, then it's like, okay, I'm offering you guys something cool that you can use in your own life and in your own journey. So that's definitely important. And of course, you got to market, you got to network, get your name out there, talk to people, DM people, you know, leave comments. You got to do the whole 9 yards, man, because growing a social media brand is hard because everybody's trying to do it. So you have to make sure that you're different. Next question comes from Edwin_213. You know how you should say, I guess he's saying, basically, you know how you're supposed to drink a gallon of water every day? Would you count drinking a gallon of calorie-free BCAAs the same? Yes, because at the end of the day, water is water. I'm not a huge fan of BCAAs. I think they're BS. A lot of times you have enough BCAAs in the food that you eat, especially if you're already taking a protein powder, which already has aminos in it. Anyways, I mean, yeah, you can do that, but I'll also say try and drink some pure water. You know what I'm saying? If you have to flavor it every time, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, you know, get used to just drinking pure water. You know what I mean? Because what happens when you don't have your BCAAs or you run out, or and you're not gonna get any in the mail for 2 days or something. Like, are you gonna not drink water? Or are you gonna like try and like be suffering for 2 days because you don't have that taste? So it's okay to do, but I would say try and get used to drinking just regular water. Next question comes from my dog Brian Sweet from Both Sweet Fitness. Where is that Ghostpepper? That Ghostpepper, I need to make that video. You know, I completely forget sometimes. I'm not even gonna lie, it's not that I'm avoiding it. Sometimes I forget. Like, the Ghostpepper is really sitting right in there. Like, I might have to do that video coming soon because I owe you guys. I literally just forget. I forgot. I'm just so focused on school and what if videos and growing this channel that I forget. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm sorry, guys. But I'll make a video. I'll make a video. Next question comes from Zendiva50. She's a newer follower, but she's really cool, really interactive. I appreciate all the messages. She wants to know my thoughts on keto because she's drawn to it because of the food choices. Look, there's nothing wrong with the ketogenic diet, especially if that tailors more to the type of foods that you like, then go for it, because that's gonna make sure that your adherence to your diet is a lot easier. If you're like somebody who loves carbs, I wouldn't do keto because you're gonna feel like, you know, oh, I want carbs. But if you're somebody who likes the fattier foods like that and you feel it's gonna be easier for you to follow, then go ahead. The only reason I don't particularly like keto personally is just the fact that it's probably the least effective in retaining the most amount of muscle. And I found for me, I just enjoy having my carbs. You know, it makes adherence a lot easier for me, but hey, to each his own, but there's nothing wrong with the keto diet. Perfectly fine to do. Last question from Instagram is from Andrew Deering. When are you gonna lift for Chris Jones? Whenever Chris messages me back, man. I've messaged Chris a few times, not to work out, but he's very hard to reach. It would be cool if I could go out to Pump Chasers Gym and get a lift in with them. We'll see. I think it'll happen one day. I just don't know when. I'm not holding my breath for it. I'm still trying to grow my channel, but hey, if I do get that opportunity, I'll make sure it's the most epic edit, epic vlog footage. I'll make sure it's everything that you guys have been waiting for, because people have literally been asking me that since I started my channel 3 years ago. So hopefully sometime soon. All right, let's round it off. I hope this video is not too long, but let's round it off with the Facebook questions. All right, so my dog Kenny Rodriguez, is it beneficial to hit a muscle twice a week like legs Monday, then again on Friday or Saturday? Yes. As a matter of fact, the more times you can hit a muscle group in a week as a natural, the better, because your protein synthesis after about 36 hours is done. So hitting it twice a week is the bare minimum. If you can hit it 3 times a week or even 4 times a week, now your frequency and volume got to go down, but if you can hit it 3 to 4 times a week, that's awesome. But twice a week is usually about what people can do when they fit everything in like that. So yeah, definitely beneficial. It's gonna help you grow and progress a lot faster. Next question comes from Raymond Carson. Lightweight or heavyweight? It depends on what your goals are. They both have their, you know, pros and cons. When you're going lighter weight, you're gonna work more in hypertrophy and on muscular endurance, not gonna get as much strength as quickly. If you go heavier weight, you're gonna get more strength. Maybe you don't develop muscular hypertrophy or endurance as quick. So they both have their pros and cons, but both are definitely fine depending on your goal. Next question is from Jorge Gonzalez. I didn't say George, I know it's Jorge. Okay, I'm from Miami, I know a little Spanish. All right, have you tried the keto diet when I've cut? I have not. I actually, well, you know what? I did keto for a week once, like 2 years ago. It wasn't for me, bro. It wasn't for me. Maybe I did it wrong, but it wasn't for me. I like carbs. I'm sorry. If I can't lose weight with carbs, then I'll just be fat, honestly. I'll just be fluffy, fat swole. Next question is from Greg Fly Alliance Tucker. What's the most beneficial protein product to buy, pre-workout and BCAAs? Well, as I said earlier, don't believe in BCAAs. I think just save your money, honestly. Pre-workout, I'm not even a big fan of that anymore. But I would say if you are looking for a pre-workout, look for something that has a good amount of caffeine, like 250 and above per scoop, not like 250 from 2 scoops, because then you're not getting your money's worth. And look for something that has the recommended dosage of things, like when it comes to, like, let's say beta alanine or citrulline malate. Make sure that you're getting the recommended amounts. I can't think of them off the top of my head, and I'm trying to be quick with this. So you know, definitely look for stuff that has the right proportions of each one of those things in there. And then of course protein, it's really all the same. I'll just make sure you avoid anything that's been, you know, linked to being amino spiked, where they're not giving you the full amount of protein. So I like to stick with stuff like PE Science, NTS Whey, and I also bought Chris's GAF Whey, which is really good too. So just stuff that I know that is not amino spiked, anything like that, you'll be cool. Next question is from Ahmad Sanchez I know I just messed that up. How to reduce leg size. My legs are too muscular. Train them less, train them lighter. If your legs are too muscular, lower the weight. Like let's say you're doing 315, lower to 225 and just rep it out. Leave a lot in the tank. Eventually your leg size will decrease a little bit, you know, because I know some people are like that. Maybe they feel like, oh, this is too big, I want to kind of, you know, get it a little smaller. Stop with so much frequency, and then also lighten the weight a little bit. All right, I guarantee you there will be some muscular, or you can just stop working them out, you know, maybe work them out once every that makes no sense, once every 2 weeks. All right, and that might work for you. Next question is from Cindy Bryant. Very nice girl, always giving really encouraging messages. That's what's up. My opinion on the best exercise to get a bigger and rounder booty. There's 2 exercises. One is the hip thrusts and one are deadlifts from the ground. Anytime you're picking up something from the ground and locking out at the top, your glutes are gonna be hella involved in that. And then of course, I mean the hip thrust, I mean, do I even have to, in my opinion, the hip thrust is the king of all glute build. I mean, if you want a booty, do your hip thrust. That's all I'm saying. Next question comes from James Everett. What's the best motivation when I've lost mine? For me, I have lost motivation a few times over the years. The best thing that helps me to get back into the groove of things is I'll go back and watch some of my old videos, maybe look at some old pictures. Or sometimes I need a break from the gym. Sometimes we get so in the zone with the gym and working out that, you know, we kind of just burn ourselves out, and sometimes just taking that like a week or maybe even 3 or 4 days, just taking it away from the gym and just, you know, living life and just eating, you know, mindfully and just not tracking macros and things like that can help reset you. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're doing the same thing every single day, grind, sometimes you just need to step back a little bit, recoup, reset, and then go back and attack it. And usually that's worked for me. Next question comes from Ricky Lee Edwards, longtime follower. Is isolate better than whey? Should the NBA step in and regulate on these super teams? Isolate, I guess, is better in the fact that it has a little more protein, but it's basically all the same, to be honest. It's not that big a difference. And then should the NBA regulate super teams? I actually like super teams. I think that super teams have always been around. It's just that now with social media, they're just glamorized. I mean, who was to say the Bulls in the 90s were not a super team? The Lakers and Celtics in the 80s were not super team. Like, we've always had super teams. It's just now when people move and stuff, it's all over social media, it's glamorized, it's all over the television, First Take, Undisputed, everybody's talking about it, so it makes it a bigger deal than it is because we've always had super teams. That's why there's dynasties every decade. Next question is from my dude Sunny Joshi. How do I force myself to work out and hit macros when I'm feeling lazy or unmotivated? A lot of times if I am feeling lazy or not motivated, sometimes you just gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be days where you wake up and you're not gonna want to count macros, you're not gonna want to work out, and you just, a lot of times on those days, if you push through, the next day you're like, dang, I'm really glad I did that. I'm really glad that I actually pushed through my workout and actually hit my macros because I didn't set myself back. But like I said earlier, sometimes you just need to step back, take a day. If you've been grinding like for 3-4 weeks in a row, and you want to just take a step back, take a day and just not count anything, maybe not even work out, just kind of live life like a regular human being, you know, for one day, nothing wrong with that. Next question is from AJ Aponte. I hope I didn't like overemphasize like the accent in that. What do I think about intermittent fasting? I think it's actually a great tool to use when you're losing weight. Especially for me, some days what I'll do, since I'm I'll eat maybe less meals, I'll push my first meal back to like 12, and it kind of helps me because now I have a smaller window, but that means my meals can be bigger and I'm usually fuller. And in the morning, as long as I have like some coffee or something or whatever, like I only get hungry once I start eating. So if I wake up and eat breakfast, I'm gonna be trying to eat the rest of the day. If I wake up and I just have maybe some coffee or just like some water, something to drink, I can go a while without having to eat. But once that first meal goes in, it's going down after that. Next question is from Ricky Lee Edwards. Again, another question. That's cool. That's cool. Do I think Lolo Jones is really a virgin? I mean, she was dating Indomitian Sue. Hey, if she says she's a virgin, look, she's a woman. Hey, I don't have video evidence to state otherwise. You know what I'm saying? She ain't got no Kim Kardashian tapes out there. So if she says she is, she is. Next question is from Keanu Keel Feston. Cavs versus Golden State Warriors. Who would win? I'm rooting for the Cavs. In all honesty, they're underdogs because the Warriors, that is one hell of a team they have built. I mean, Jesus, you got Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Draymond, Klay Thompson. You got you know, JaVale McGee coming off the bench. I mean, he's very athletic. I mean, that team is crazy. It's really crazy. But I'm still rooting for LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love to take home back-to-back titles. Next question is from Sarath, no pain, no gain. Can stiff leg deadlifts start from the ground? They absolutely can. You don't have to maintain a constant tension if you want to like start them from the ground. If you have the hip mobility and the hamstring mobility to do that, perfectly fine. Next question is from Nathan Cullington. Struggling with some motivation at the minute. What do I recommend? I think I've already talked on motivation before, but I'll touch on it one more time. Look, if you're lacking in motivation, you need to find something that drives you. A lot of times for me, when I lack motivation is when I don't have a goal. So set some type of goal, you know, whether it be I want to gain 10 pounds on my lift. Or on a bunch of lifts. I want to add more muscle. I want to burn some fat, get a little leaner, you know, have a goal, something you can work towards. Because what I've seen over the years, when I'm kind of just working out and maintaining and not really, you know, trying to reach a goal, that's when I kind of lose motivation, because it's like, oh, why am I even doing this? But as long as you keep a consistent goal, you have something you're always working towards. So as long as you always have something you're reaching for, you shouldn't really lose motivation as often. All right, so definitely try that. Set a goal, and then of course take my advice that I was talking about earlier about motivation, because I'm sure that could help you too. Last question. I hope nobody puts another question after this, because it won't get answered. Rashawn Winfrey, my dog from Winfrey Fitness. Go ahead and check them out. If you had to choose dicks for fingers or testicles for earlobes, Jesus, shaking hands would be really awkward. That's actually a good question. It's very strange, but it's a good question. I'm gonna have to go with dicks for fingers, because let's be real. I mean, if you introduce yourself to a lady and you have 10 fingers and they're all, you know where that's going. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the Q&A video. Those are really awesome questions. I appreciate every time I post. You guys always are like commenting, and it's like, I always think the video is gonna be super short, but it ends up super like longer because you guys ask so many good questions. But I'm really glad you do. It helps me to, you know, be able to answer your questions, get a video out. We both win. All right, so be sure, if you're interested in any StrengthCorps apparel, go ahead and check it out over at thestrengthcorps.com, thestrengthcorps.com. Gotta always drop, you know, a little plug in there for myself. That's what you gotta do when you're trying to promote a brand. Anyways, guys, be sure to go ahead and look out for a video on Wednesday. I'll be posting a video, either a workout tip or a diet tip. One of the two, you will get it Wednesday. Don't forget the orders, subscribe and share, like and comment, follow my social media. Till next time, all my double dogs, dismiss.
I'm a general, a nigga, I'm a general. I'm a general, a nigga, I'm a general. I'm a general, a nigga, I'm a general. I'm a general, a nigga, I'm a general.